Today we're going to be getting better at addition. We are going to be adding 1,000 hundred tens and units to 1,000 hundred tens and units. Here is an example of 3,926 at 4,364. Have a look at my example. What have I done to get the answer 8,290? The first thing I've done is I've aligned each of the two numbers in columns. My units are both in the units column, my tens, my hundreds and my thousand. I've placed the addition side next to it and drawn lines for my answer box. I've started with my units. 6 units at 4 units is 10 units. I've put my 0 as a placeholder and regrouped my 1 into the tens column. I've then added 2 tens, add 6 tens, add 1 10, which is 9 tens. Moving to the left, I have done 9 hundreds, add 3 hundreds, which is 12 hundreds. I put my 2 in my hundred column and regrouped my 10 hundreds into my thousand column. 3,000, add 4,000, add the 1,000 is 8,000, giving the answer 8,290. I write that against my calculation. Here is my next calculation. 2,809 add 6,482. The first thing I need to do is arrange the calculation into columns. I start with 2,809. Underneath, I place 6,482. I remember my addition time. Here I've lined up my units, my tens, my hundreds and 1,000s. I'm now going to start at the right to get it right by adding each of my individual columns. 9 add 2. 9 add 2 is 11. I place my 1 unit and regroup my 110 into my tens column. 0 add 8 add 1 gives me 9 tens. I then move to my next column. 8 hundreds add 4 hundreds. This is 12 hundreds. I place my 2 in my hundreds column and regroup my 10 hundreds to my thousands. I then add up my thousands column. 2,000 add 6,000 add 1,000 is 9,000. Give me the answer 9,291 in my answer box. I then place it with my calculation. Here I have two different answers to the calculation, 6,085 add 2,717. One is in blue and one is in yellow. Have a look at the success criteria. Can you explain which of these calculations is correct and which is incorrect and why? If we have a look at our success criteria, the first step says remember to arrange the calculation in columns. In both the blue calculation and the yellow calculation, the digits have been lined up in the correct columns, starting with units, tens, hundreds and thousands. And again, this appears in both calculations. The next step says remember to begin with the right-hand column, completing the addition of each column. Again, we've started with the right-hand column because 5 add 7 is 2, and over here 5 add 7 is 2. The next success criteria states remember to regroup when the addition of each column is greater than 9. 5 units add 7 units is 12 units. Therefore, I need to put my 2 placeholder in my units and regroup my 10 units into my tens column. Therefore, this is a mistake that's been made with the 5 units and 7 units in the yellow calculation. The next step says remember to put the answer in the answer box. Again, both calculations have done that. 5 add 7 is 12. I place my 2 units, regroup my 10 units. 8 tens, add 1 10, add 1 10 is 10 tens. I put my unit placeholder, I carry my 10 tens over to the hundreds column. 0 hundreds, add 7 hundreds, add 1 hundreds is 8 hundreds. And then next to my thousands, 6,000, add 2,000 is 8,000. Therefore my answer is 8,802. We're going to work through one last calculation together. The calculation is 5,946 at 3,521. First, I arrange my calculation into columns, starting with the thousands. I've got 5,946 at 3,521. These are lined up with the units, the tens, the hundreds and the thousands together. Next, I need to begin with the right to get it right. 6 add 1 is 7. 4 add 2 is 6. 9 add 5. 5 is 14. The next step in my success criteria says remember to regroup when the addition of the column is greater than 9. Therefore, I put my 4 placeholder and carry my 10. I regroup it to the 5 and the 3, which is in the thousand. 5,000 add 3,000 add 1,000 is 9,000. Therefore, my answer is 9,467. Now, if you feel confident, ask your teacher for the calculations for 1,000 hundred tens and units and 1,000 hundred tens and units. If you are still unsure, play the video back and work through each example with a whiteboard.